Hello, children. All right, I'm going to have to move the phone a little bit, and you're all going to get epileptic seizures because that's how my life rolls. We got a request. You got a request. AstroConsulting.com. This is a lengthy one. I had to take a screenshot from my phone and transfer it to the laptop so I can... Yeah. Hi, Aaron. I'd like to request a video response. I emailed you back in 2019, 2021. I ended up getting treated for severe anxiety and depression. Didn't know what was going on with me at the time. I had difficulty maintaining friendships and pushed people away. Slight memory impairment, some degree of loss of impulse, loss of control, anger, frustration, aggressiveness, hopelessness, despair, no belief in God, no reason to be alive. In my darkest moments, that was worse my headspace was. It's kind of cut off because phones are like, oh, are you turning the volume up? Let's put the volume icon on here. I'm supposed to be the guy there saving MRF and lives, but I'm having trouble saving myself from depression and suicide. It's sad. It's frustrating. I try to stay physically fit. I'm not as good as some of the hot guys. I immediately assume the worst from people. And when someone is nice to me, I act genuinely surprised. Well, can't say I blame you there. I want to change, but it's a struggle. Whether it's a no text back or looks of apathy from women or even other men, I assume they just hate me because I'm not attractive or worthy of existence. Your first problem is giving a damn what other people think. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, you and in the email response I responded to, I said, look, you got legit problems, like legit mental problems. You know, when these millennials like, oh, I had a bad day. Beauregard, fetch me my depression couch and give me government SSI checks. They misgendered me. Oh, I'm so sad. I can't work. Give me more taxpayers' money. So it sounds like you got legit stuff. So you got to talk to a professional on that. I can't help you there, but as I said, I could give you independent third-party observations and things that would work for me for somewhat similar problems that I've had in the past. But the first part, yeah, if you're having that much anger and rage and hate and depression, yeah, it could be chemical imbalance, something you got to talk to it. Now, that being said, I think you're worrying way too much about what other people think. And I don't know why, but you obviously derive value or insist that other people, it's not so much respect you, but treat you well. Whereas no one owes you to be treated well. They owe you to treat you with politeness and courtesy and civility and respect. But these people haven't done anything to you. Someone says something nice or you're kind of surprised. I could see that. But why do you care what other people think about you? Unless it's like your boss and they have to think somewhat like, okay, he's a productive worker. He's a reliable worker, that kind of thing. But it sounds like your social life and all, it sounds like you're the nerdy kid who so desperately wants to be invited to the cool kids party. And well, one, the cool kids aren't cool. I remember seeing that for real. Like, oh my God, this is what you people do? You just worship yourselves? But what do you care if people like you or not? Or as long as they're not treating you poorly and treating you according to the law, that's fine. That's all there is. What do you care? And so I would go and evaluate what is so important about getting other people to like you or respect you. I honestly couldn't care less what people think about me. And this seems to be one of the causes of your ire. And I would ask, well, why? And if you go and you think about it a little bit, and maybe you just got to live long enough to realize that most people are assholes. Most people are not worth spitting on. I'm not saying that to be cool or edgy. I'm just saying it's true. Most people are pretty worthless pieces of shit. But then, like, if you're trying to get into the popular kids or get really good-looking girls, like, have you ever dated really good-looking girls? They're a pain in the ass. Because I'm not attractive or worthy of existence. No, I just assume they hate me because I'm not attractive or worthy of existence. No, they probably don't even think about you. That's the perfect, honest truth. And you're now speculating what they think about you, which is wrong. I would. Your obsession with what other people think, that's a problem. Don't know how to fix it. Mine's kind of like, well, I've gotten to know enough other people that now I really don't care what they think. I've had moments where I'm in a good mood, smiling, and in turn get treated differently, but one small negative comment or experience can ruin my self-esteem and the whole evening. Okay, let me ask you this. It's someone external to you. Somebody else gives you a negative comment. One, do you care what they think? Two, is what they're saying true? And if it's true, then it's your responsibility. Okay, how do I want to put this? If someone gives you a negative comment and it's true, like you smell, do you? Well, then you should put deodorant on. You should fix whatever problem that is. But if it's a negative comment that's an opinion, like, well, I don't like you because whatever, you cheered for the Seattle Seahawks. That's an opinion. And there you got to say, well, does it matter what their opinion is? And the answer is no, it doesn't. And then finally, this is more important than anything else. What is your life like? Are you going out so foreign to me. Let's say I go into town today and I go play poker and I'm at the cigar lounge or whatever. I go out and I'm being social. And I sit down and someone says, I don't like your hat. I'd be like, tough shit. I'd almost laugh at it. You don't like my hat. Well, good thing it's not yours then. Like one of the main reasons, aside from the fact I just don't care what other people think, is I have shit going on in my life. I'm a very accomplished individual. I don't mean to sound like a braggadocio type of guy, but it's true. If you have a good life, if you're going out, you're working, you're supporting yourself, you're in physical shape, you don't have to be an Adonis, not everyone is born looking like that, but you are in good physical shape. You obey the laws, you got your hobbies, you're doing your thing. As long as you're not stealing money from people or a welfare parasite, it doesn't matter what other people think about you. And I got to speculate, you got nothing else going on in life. Because then you start worrying about what other people think, which is, well, now you're living your life for them, which is a complete waste of time. That's slavery, technically. But make sure what they say is wrong. Again, let's go through the story again because it's so instructional. When Cappy was at the peak of his game, senior analyst, probably making, adjusted for inflation now, probably around $150,000, $160,000 a year between working in banking, the ballroom dance classes, online courses, all that other good stuff, even working security. I went to the jazz club after teaching 3 hours of dance class, of which that was after working at the bank. I was in my suit. I looked good. I asked 31 women, all the women in the jazz club that seemed like they did not have someone that was speaking for them to see if they want to dance. Every single one of them shot me down. It became a mission after like the fifth time a girl shot me down because I got to see it. Did that make me angry? See, you'd be flying off the handle, I'd imagine. All right. Again, I speculate you got nothing else going on in your life. For me, it was more like, I got to see if every girl's going to shoot down the junior grooming executive type, like being groomed to, inevitably I did make vice president, not at that bank. But my point is, I had so much other stuff going on that when 31 girls shot me down, I'm like, I'm not wrong, they're wrong. And if you don't have something going on in life where it's just like, I don't care what you think. I know who I am. I'm the greatest mechanic in the county. I race cars. I do this. I do that. I polish guns. That's too bad because I know I'm a good person. And so I got to know, like, so what? Can ruin your self-esteem? Oh, fuck self-esteem. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Your self-esteem. Oh, who fuck that? Your self-esteem is such bullshit. Your self-esteem comes from you accomplishing things. And they're like, yeah, you think some Iraqi vet who saved several lives, served his country, came back, worked as, I don't know, an accountant, makes $160,000 a year and then goes to the gym and, I don't know, spends time with the Elks Lodge. Do you think he has self-esteem issues? Do you think anyone could take that guy's self-esteem down? And dude, it's your response. That's what I'm trying to tell you is, one, these people, unless they're like important in your life, these people have no authority to criticize you. I mean, that doesn't stop people from doing it, but my point is they're not in a position of authority, therefore the criticisms are moot and pointless. And two, it's your responsibility being alive here to make it that any criticism laid upon you by people is wrong. And then to have your own value where you're like, I can't imagine, like, someone says your feet stink, and let's say my feet don't stink, and then that would piss me off. I'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? My feet don't stink. I just washed them 5 minutes ago at the foot washing depot in Rapid City, South Dakota. Then I withdraw and become unfriendly and depressed. I recognize this behavior and know it needs to change. I'm trying to change it, but it's hard turning it off. Well, you better turn it off, dude, because your life is going to be over in, like, I don't know, 60 years. I don't know how old you are. I'm going to guess you're about a third dead, right? Your youth is pretty much gone. And the way to turn it off is to make sure you have a good life. Let me just scroll down. Oh, okay, so now I got to go to the second image, the second screenshot. Nope, that's where'd it go? Come on, Clary. Please do this. At my lowest point, I got into extreme hateful politics, which I'm deeply remorseful about. Okay, so you didn't go to the gym, you didn't get an advanced degree, you didn't learn a trade. Sounds like you're avoiding hard work. I'll be honest, man. Like, that's what. Now, there's nothing wrong with going on politics. Now, extreme hateful politics depend. I mean, you're the Republican Party, because that's defined as hate-filled now. Are you advocating the extinction of different types of people? Yeah, that's extreme. That's immoral. I realized a lot of that was just me needing a punching bag, something, anything. I pushed people away and was an asshole to a lot of people who didn't deserve it. Some did, but many did not. All right. So did that help? You feel guilt and remorse about that. I still am an asshole at times because it can be rough when someone treats you poorly. Right. And I understand, obviously, I understand being an asshole because most people are going to treat you poorly. My question is, if these people are going to treat you poorly, who are they? Most of the people, I keep trying to think, if anyone has treated me poorly that was good, but usually it's in constructive criticism, all the people who treated me poorly are inferior people. Because you don't treat people poorly like you did, being an asshole to people who didn't deserve it, all right? Those people are not worthy of consideration. What they say is they're not worth the time of day. And you still let inferior people affect you. Inferior people's opinion of you or whatever, maybe a comment affect you, that it changes your mood. Dude, you got to stop worrying about other people. But it can be rough when someone treats you poorly. Well, here's another question. Is this part of disrespecting? Is that what it is? Dude, yo, Bill, we're disrespecting me. No, dude, that was a piece of shit drug dealer, like low ranked. What do you, is this what it is? It sounds like this is trailer trash or ghetto culture. And maybe it's not, but you haven't said disrespect. They were disrespecting me. I hear that coming from losers who are upset that other losers didn't respect them proper. What do you care what someone in the trailer park or the ghetto thinks of you? That's some of the vibes I'm starting to get here. You should be like, this is the ghetto. This is the trailer park. These people are dumbasses. If anything, the fact they're treating me poorly indicates I'm doing something right. But again, if you don't have a life, because you're in the barrio or the ghetto or the trailer park, and you didn't put any investment in yourself, I guess the only thing to worry about is what other people think about you, whether you should be worrying about these assholes or not. However, I can honestly say now that I don't hate anyone based on their skin color, religious preference, sexuality, or good. Why? Why would you? I mean, how bored were you to go and subscribe to an ideology or politics that one, you're going to hate people based on traits they were born with? I'm glad you came out of that. That's great. I'm just kind of curious, like, how do you get to that point? How? People are all individuals and should be treated as such. Good. Well, there you're making progress. Maybe you might want to look. Why don't you go and check out libertarianism? It's moral, it's just, it's correct. It's the only thing that'll work. And they don't hate people. They're a little wacky too. I feel like many of us are hurting on the inside, and so we find areas on the internet to bitch about women or how unfair it is that we're not the top 1% of guys. Well, right. But one, life isn't fair. Two, bitching about not being the top 1% of guys. I mean, okay, now we're going into the world of envy, and not healthy envy. Like, I see a guy's totally jacked, right? I'm like, oh man, look at that guy. I wish I looked like that guy. I don't like, oh, that asshole. Oh, he gets all the girls. And I stew about it on the internet. And a lot of this, socialist politics, racial politics, some certainly within the red pill and black pill, it is all based on envy. But I mean, top 1%, or you gotta be born good looking. There's a lot out of your control, like genetics. Why do you go to envy? What does envy do to get you out of your malaise and your unhappy situation? Like, what is it with this obsession of other people? What do you care if some guy is like 6'4" and incredibly good looking and handsome? What do you care? Instead, why can't you be happy? Look at this guy. He's got more money than me. Oh, man, he worked really hard. Look, he's got that really nice house. Oh, man, I bet you he's an engineer. Man, this whole obsession with other people. Why? It's awful. This stuff is toxic. Yes, it is. Yes. Envy is horrible. You could have a great life, but you're sitting there stewing that you don't have as much. You're not as good looking. You're not as tall as the other guy. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, and too much internet media can just make things worse. Yep. Yeah, unplug. I don't know if you're on the internet or not, but I would unplug. It only pulls up the worst. The internet just only pulls up the worst. I don't feel entitled to anyone. I just want to be treated like a person. Okay. We need to stop feeling entitled to women. Correct. And stop bitching about them. No. Okay. Bitching? Yes. Constructively criticizing? No. Look, women voting to trade in freedom for government, for security in the state, that's going to end to a demise. It not really has anything to do with women per se, but more the way they vote. Destroying the family, feminine, those are bad things that do need to be constructively criticized in an attempt to stop them for the benefit of society. I agree you're not entitled to anyone, women or not. Stop bitching about them. Yes, you can't complain. But, I guess you and I would philosophically disagree. I'd say there's a lot. We should not stop, let's not say bitching. We should also not stop constructively criticizing men. Get off your ass, get a job, get a real degree, stop living at home, although wait till you got the money to afford a down payment on a house. When we should be bettering ourselves. There you go. All right. Maybe yours was one of stoicism, control what you can. We have to be honest with ourselves and accept that some of us are probably not going to get the hot girl that we envision. Yes. But things get better. Oh, God, not now. Things get better when you just focused on you. I'm getting help and making some improvements, but it has been rough. I tend to overthink everything, as you could probably tell with my writing style. Please let me know your thoughts. And I ask everyone to please leave a comment if you have any advice. Meanwhile, I'm trying to make improvements. I want to get into a position where I'm out there saving lives or doing something positive. Thank you. Here's what I would recommend. You got to have something going on in your life, and don't worry about other people. That's it. And don't worry what other people think. And once you become an uncriticizable person because you're doing good work and you're a good contributing member of society, I think a lot of these problems will go away. But definitely get that other stuff checked out. And I got to be quick because I'm running out of storage. So we'll see you guys later. Toodles.